So I know in the last lesson I ended saying we were going to talk about stack views, but I thought we should probably take the opportunity to discuss images in iOS and how you can use your assets. All right, so in the first app you made with Caleb, he had you import some images and you saw that some of them were labeled 1x, 2x, and 3x. So what's that all about? Well, you're probably familiar with pixel art. It seems to be having quite the revival as of late, with a lot of new games harking back to the old days when pixelated art was not a choice, but a technical limitation due to the low resolution of screens. However, as our screen technology has improved, we've been able to cram more and more pixels into the same amount of space. We now have Retina and Super Retina screens in our mobile devices, which gives us three resolutions to support: Standard, or 1x, Retina 2x, and Super Retina 3x. So what does that actually mean? iOS measures distance on our screens in points. 1 point is 1/72nd of an inch. Now on a standard 1x screen, 1 point equals 1 pixel. But on a Retina 2x screen, 1 point holds 4 pixels in a 2x2 array. And in a Super Retina screen, 1 point holds 9 pixels, a 3x3 array of pixels. So why do we need to include images that are different sizes? Couldn't we just pick one and have the others scale it? Well, the short answer is if we didn't and chose just one of the image resolutions to support, the other two resolutions wouldn't look good. I do want to note that there are not many devices that still support 1x though. This diagram here from Apple shows the devices and their resolution breakdown. So these links will all be in the following article as well for you to look through if you want. Now, all that theory aside, what does that mean for us as developers in practice? Basically, it just means that you need to make sure you have your assets exported from your designer in the correct 1x, 2x, and 3x sizes. Now, you may not have a designer. You may be your own designer. So in that case, I'm going to show you a few ways to do it yourself. All right. So I got this little logo here on our desktop from Alexander Kowalski off Noun Project, a great site to get icons. And we're going to turn it into 1, 2, and 3x images we can then import into our Xcode project and use. All right. So I'm going to show you 3 ways, and we'll start with Sketch. Now, I know not everyone has Sketch, so if you do not, then you can just ignore this part, all right? So I'm going to open up Sketch and create a new document. And now in the resources for this lesson, I have attached this logo that we're going to be using. And so here in Sketch, I'm just going to create a quick artboard by pressing A and dragging. And we'll say that we want our image to be 250 by 250. I'm just going to adjust that here, 250 by 250. All right, and then I'm going to grab that image and just drop it right in here. And that looks good. Okay, so once you have your image how you want it, all you got to do is come down here to where it says Make Exportable, click on the plus button, and let's give this a name. I'm going to call this Logo Sketch. Right now it's on the Android export set, and you can see that there are actually a lot more resolutions that you have to support for Android. But yeah, so if you click right here, you can apply a preset and just select iOS here. All right, and then say Export Logo Sketch. And I'm just going to put that here on the desktop, but I'm going to put it in a new folder called logo_sketch and create and export. All right, so now when we go to our desktop and open this folder up, you can see here we have these 3 images. All right, we have at 3x, we have at, that's probably 1x, and then at 2x. All right, so we have our 3 images here. So how do we use them in Xcode? Let's open Xcode back up, and we need to have our assets folder open, and then we can just grab our 3 images, drag and drop them right here. And now you can see that we have them here in our assets. They automatically go into their 1x, 2x, and 3x places because the way that they are correctly named using the at 3x, at 2x notation. So yeah, now we could open up Storyboard And we could drop in an image view and set that image view to logo sketch. And there it is. All right, so if you don't have Sketch, there are some other free tools that you can use. So let's go ahead and open up a browser. And the first one, if you search for Iconizer, okay, Iconizer. And the one that we want is on a GitHub repo right here by Raphael Hannikin, okay? Let's go ahead and click on that. And right here it says you can download the latest release. And this is going to be on GitHub. And that's going to take us right here. And you can get the .dmg file right here. And I've already installed it. Yeah, so the install process is very straightforward. All you got to do is drag it in. When you try to open it, you may need to go ahead and allow it in your system preferences under security. But once you have that done, let's open it up, and you have here the app. Okay, so it's a super simple app. We are able to generate app icons, launch images, or image sets. Right now we're just doing image sets. So I'm going to grab our logo and drop it in here, and then we can output these. So I'm going to click on that, and again this is going to go on the desktop. Let's go ahead and create a new folder. This is going to be logo underscore Iconizer, and I'm going to say create, and we're going to save this as logo underscore Iconizer and save. All right, so if we open up our logo Iconizer here, we'll see Iconizer assets, image sets, and here we go. So now we have our 3 images right here. And it doesn't name them, unfortunately, so you would have to go through and rename those. But let's go ahead and drop those into Xcode beta. So I got our assets.xc assets folder open again. Gonna go back to our folder and just drop those in. And here again, we have our images here, and they went to their 1x, 2x, 3x. And if we go back to our storyboard and we swap this back to image, it's the same thing. All right, so that is using the Iconizer tool. And finally, let's go back to Safari here. Let's open up a new tab. And the last one I want to show you is one called appicon.co, okay? And here you can do app icons as well and select the different types that you want to export for. And we can do image sets, okay? So let's uncheck Android. We just want iOS, and our base design is going to be 3x. So just going to grab our image once more and drop it in here, and then say generate. Okay. And then I'm going to grab from our downloads, drop it on my desktop and unzip that. And we have a folder here. And we have our 3 logos. So I'm going to go back to Xcode, open up our assets folder again, and drop those 3 files right in here. And sure enough, we have our 3 sets, our 3 resolutions right here. And storyboard, change this to logo, and looks great. All right, so that is how you can create your own image sets given a image using any of these 3 tools. Now, what about in our assets folder? We have this app icon folder as well, and you'll see a whole bunch of empty slots here with things like iPhone notification, 20 point, and Spotlight 40 point. Well, these are all of the different images that you need for your app when they show up in all of these different places, like on a notification or in Spotlight, for iPad settings, iPad Spotlight, for the App Store, all right? So there's a lot of things that you need here, and we can use 2 of our tools that we already looked at. We can use Iconizer, and we can also use icon.co. I'm going to show you in Iconizer. Okay, and we're going to do an app icon now. And we want to generate the images for just for iPad and iPhone. All right, so again, I'm going to grab our logo, toss it in here and export that. And I'm just going to export that to the same location, and I'm going to say app_icon and say save. All right, so now that's going to show up here in our folder, and we can grab the iPhone images here. All right, now let me kind of move some of these other folders out of the way here. So go ahead and just select all of these, and you should be able to just drag them in right here, and you'll see these highlight in blue. So this is going to be nice. It's going to put all of these where we need them to go automatically. And there we have it. So now if I run this app on my simulator, and then I go back out to our home, you can see there, hey, there is our app with its app icon that we just added. Very cool. Okay, and then the rest of these, this one down here, if we go back to our folder, it's going to be this one right here. This is going to be a larger 10, let me get rid of these folders here. This is going to be a 1024 point, and that's going to go in there, all right? And then if you want to add the iPad ones, then you can go ahead and add those as well. You might have to do them one by one. For some reason, when I try to do the same thing that we did with the iPhone ones, they aren't working. So you're gonna have to match those up individually one by one. So for instance here, iPad app icon 2x. Let's see here, that is this one right here, iPad app 2x. And then you're just gonna have to do those one by one. All right, let's see what that process looks like in app icon. Okay, so we're gonna go to app icon now, and let's see here, we just want iPhone and iPad. In fact, let's just do just iPhone. And then let's go ahead and drop our logo in, say generate, and that's gonna download to our downloads folder. I'm gonna grab that and put it on our desktop, unzip it, and here we go. And there is our images. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see what that looks like in Xcode. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all these real quick. Well, I wonder if it can just replace them. Let's find out. I'm gonna grab all of those and, okay, it's not going to replace them, so I need to delete, 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 delete. All right. I'm gonna grab those again, see if this works. It doesn't look like it wants to drop in nicely for us. So you're gonna have to go ahead and do that manually here. So 40, let's see here. So this one must be 40. Oh, nope. This is 40 by 40, but should be 80 by 80. Oh, that must be that one then. No? Ah, there we go. All right, so you're gonna have to do that manually and add those all in, all right? So that is how you can work with images in iOS, and why and how we have the 1x, 2x, and 3x images to support the different resolutions on our different devices. Now, the last thing that I want to do is, let's go back to our storyboard, and I'm going to change this back to the logo sketch one. And let's go ahead and work with some constraints while we're here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pin this 0 from the left, 0 from the top, and 0 from the right. And let's give it a height of 200. And I'm gonna say add for constraints. Okay, so now you'll see that it just got a little bit wonky, right? And that's because our UI images have different content modes, okay? So here we have it set to scale to fill. This means that it's just going to try and fill up the image view with this image, and it's gonna stretch it however it needs to make it fit. And then we have aspect fit. And aspect fit is often the one that you'll want when you need the entire image to be showing in an image view, but maintain its aspect ratio, okay? And then we have aspect fill. And this will be often useful when you have maybe images like background images or landscape or some sort of large image that you don't really care if some of it is cut off, but you need the entirety of the UI image view to be full, okay? And usually what you'll need to do is, with this is select clip to bounds, and that will clip off any parts of it where the image is overflowing out of the UI image view. And then you have a whole bunch of other ones that I rarely use. These are the main three that you will use often: scale to fill, aspect fit, and aspect fill. Okay, so let's change that back to aspect fit. All right, so that is how you can import images in iOS with the 1, 2, and 3x, and how you can add UI image views and change their content mode to best fit the situation. All right, so hope you enjoyed that. In the next one, we'll actually get into stack views, and I'll see you there.